We took it upon ourselves to make taller legs for the Snowpeak IGT camp kitchen system. This is a 2-unit IGT frame we quickly put together with our taller XL adjustable legs for the IGT system. And over here, this is another 2-unit table. This is the Black Festival release from a couple years back with the Snowpeak 830mm standing height IGT legs. Now, I'm not overly tall, but already I did notice that whenever I was using my IGT in the standing configuration, I needed a bit more height. And so I sought out to develop a taller leg that integrates seamlessly with the existing Snowpeak IGT system. To demonstrate this, I think one of the easiest ways is with a knife test. This is a pretty simple test we can do. We're just going to grab a knife right here, and we're going to pretend to chop. Now, as you can see, when chopping on the standing height legs from Snowpeak, my arm is pretty extended. There's not a lot of angle in my elbow, and I feel a little bit of stretch in my tricep when I'm trying to extend and fully chop. Stepping over here to our XL legs that we've developed, that stretch goes away. There's a lot more comfort in the elbow. There's a lot more bend. It's a much easier motion. We can see this as well when we do a palm test. Palm test is pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to set our palms flat on the tabletop. With the 830mm height, we can see that there's again quite a bit of extension. My arms need to be almost completely straight in order to get the back of my palm to sit flush with the tabletop. That's not the case with the XL height at 920mm. Now, 920mm in height might not seem like a ton of height, especially compared to the 830 that Snowpeak already provides. Converted to inches, it's just shy of 3.5. But what that means is a number of things. First and foremost, it does give you that extra height. But the second piece that's related much more to integration is that this height at 36 inches is generally speaking standard for American kitchen countertops. This means that it's a height that we are all very used to in terms of meal preparation and dinner. It's also a height that now allows us to bring Snowpeak's IGT inside the home and use it to extend our kitchen. But the 920mm height was chosen for another reason. It's incredibly specific to how it integrates with the larger Snowpeak IGT system and leg heights that already exist on the market. The best way to showcase this is to use the Snowpeak IGT height adjusters. If you've used the IGT system, you're probably pretty familiar with these already. But if you're not, what they allow you to do is drop from one height to another without having to use additional legs. So as we can see here, as we're assembling this, I only have 2 legs on this extension tabletop. That's because the other 2 legs are replaced by using these height adjusters. Each height adjuster comes with 3 settings, allowing you to step down from one height to the next. That means you can go from standing height to sitting height, from sitting height to low height, and from low height to ground height. The great thing about the counter height that we've developed at 920mm is that it perfectly sits in the mix of the existing system. From our counter height at 920 to standing height at 830, it's a 90mm drop, and we can easily use the 100mm drop that's included in the height adjusters. There is a little bit of deflection, but generally speaking, with the uneven ground of camp, it's nothing to worry about. Using a different setting on the IGT height adjuster, going from what Snowpeak has labeled it as sitting height at 660 down to low height at 400mm, we see that that's a 260mm drop. That 260mm is exactly the same drop from our XL counter height down to sitting height. What this means, as you can see here, is that using the XL legs, you can immediately connect to both existing Snowpeak standing height as well as sitting height tabletops. This was incredibly important for us in development. We wanted to ensure that in introducing a new height to the Snowpeak IGT system, that we weren't throwing a wrench in things. We didn't want users to feel like they had to go out and replace all of their legs. They could buy 2, they could buy 4, they could buy an entire setup. However, even if they only buy a couple of them, they know that they'll be able to easily integrate it with their and their fellow campers' IGT kitchens. In order to reinforce this, we also made sure that these legs were adjustable. Our XL legs have 3 height positions. The countertop that we've been talking about and showing here at 920mm, Snowpeak standing height at 830mm, as well as Snowpeak sitting height at 660mm. Again, what this means is that if you have a lot of existing legs, you're not going to have 2 that are just out in the middle of nowhere with no way to integrate them. You can easily connect these to existing tabletops without height adjusters. You can also make sure that if your friends bring their IGT kitchens to camp, everything will work seamlessly together. Lastly, this also means that you're not having to go out and find new bags or new packaging in order to store XL height legs. And that's what we can see here, where we now have Snow Peak legs all the way on the left. We have Kurogi's XL height legs set to 830mm standing height in the middle. And we actually have Kurogi adjustable legs long set to the 830mm standing height all the way on the right. So we have 3 different styles of legs from 2 different brands that all work seamlessly together. And one of the questions that we're asked most often is about deflection. So how much are these going to wiggle? This is an adjustable leg, so it's multiple pieces. It's not just a single piece of stainless steel. And these are fair concerns. So what we've done here is set all of these legs to exactly the same height. And what we can see is that we wiggle the Snow Peak legs. There is some movement. However, it's entirely within the realm of usability, and we're really pushing this and trying to make sure it wiggles a lot. If we look at the Kurogi legs, we can see that they'll move just about the same amount. We're not here to pretend that these are perfectly stable. Again, what we're wanting to do is showcase that these are no more flexible and offer no more deflection and movement, no more rocking than a Snow Peak leg either. And in order to help make sure that they'll stay solid, each leg has adjustable feet on the bottom. So there you have it, the XL height adjustable leg for the IGT Camp Kitchen system from Kurogi. With 3 heights, 660mm sitting height, 830mm standing height, and 920mm counter height. Constructed from full stainless steel with plastic adjustable feet, these work with any Snow Peak IGT frame. You can learn more, including high-resolution photos and additional information, on our website, kurogi.co. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time.